First, let's start with Darius. Explosive day today. You had a forced fumble, picked up that fumble, ran in for 67 yards for a touchdown. Also had another game with a 100-yard kickoff return and 3 pass breakups as well as an interception. You were definitely one of the highlights of Western Michigan's game today. Just talk a little bit about your overall play.
I just came out here to try to do everything I can do to help this team and keep us in the game. You know, and whether that was on special teams or defense, I just went out and gave my all.
And just what did you see there on the kickoff return?
The kickoff return team blocked, and I trusted the blocking scheme, and Deshaun Foster gave me a good block. So. And
John, we'll open up questions for you. Just talk about Western Michigan's offense today at a tough time against Michigan State's defense. Just talk a little bit about the game plan, what you guys think you did well, and obviously the areas that Western Michigan needs to improve on.
Well, give them a lot of credit. They played really tough defense. They made it tough on us, and they took advantage when we made mistakes. And we just didn't execute as well as we know we can and should. And we just got to be better next week.
Open up for questions.
Hey, John, I wanted to talk about the game plan. You guys came out through a couple of quick passes right out of the gate. Was that a conscious effort to maybe get you on track a little bit after last week, get a quick start for the offense?
Yeah, I think we just, we ran the ball obviously a lot last week, just like we did today. And, that's going to be our identity because we have good running backs and a good offensive line. But, we also have to mix in the pass to, keep them honest and, take some shots sometimes. So, yeah, we just have to mix it up and change our play calls sometimes.
Do you feel that you left some on the table, so to speak? There was a ball to Anton. There was a couple other where you just missed. Do you feel like you look at this like this, you could have gotten more on the passing offense today?
No doubt. I missed a few throws that, obviously I'd like to have back, and our receiver, we just didn't make enough competitive plays. We call, I have to put the ball in the right spot, and the receiver has to go up and get the ball. And we just didn't make enough of those plays tonight, and they took advantage of it.
Darius, Mark Antonio talked during the week about being aware of what a special player you are. Were you surprised that he kicked you?
No, I'm not surprised. They had an article out that said they were going to trust their kickoff team, and they did. So I wasn't surprised.
Any other questions for the players?
Yeah, for John and Darius. Just after 2 games under sort of a new program going forward, 2 games under your belt against really good teams, opponents, how do you feel going forward for your next 2 games and then heading into that play?
We're going to be confident as a team. We're going to look at the film from today and look at the positives and negatives and be as good as we can next week versus our next opponent. And we're just going to go week by week and get better every week with this new staff and grow as a team.
You've now seen 2 defenses, Southern Cal last week and then Michigan State's this week. What do you make of Michigan State's defense? Were you guys kind of expecting the type of performance they put out there?
Yeah, Michigan State always, the last however many years D'Antonio's been here, they always play tough defense, and we knew they were going to be physical up front. And, so I'm not surprised that, they're very good. USC was a very, very good defense as well. But we, as a team, we just have to focus on ourselves and what we can do better, no matter who we're playing.
Final question for the players. What do you take out of these first 2 games, and now going into next week, you're going to get to play at Waldo Stadium for the first time of this season, and taking these 2 losses and using momentum into defending your home cert?
We just want to get back into practice and go over the film and trust what the coaches tell us to do in this game, and we're going to come out and play. Really good.
All right, thanks, players.
Well, obviously, game didn't turn out exactly how we wanted it to. I felt our defense played well. I thought they flew around and did some good things offensively. When we can't get the run game going, it puts a lot of pressure on our young quarterback. And I thought he did a good job. Second half, I thought he was better. He's starting to gain confidence every time he's out there. And that 2-minute drill at the end was a very healthy thing for a young quarterback to go through. So I was happy with that. But I thought the kids fought. Darius Phillips made some unbelievable plays, and we fought down to the end down to the wire. And this is going to be a good thing for us. I told them at halftime, I was smiling at them and told them the best way for us to come together is we have to go through some shared adversity, and now we're in it finally because everything has been going really well. So this will be a good thing for us to go through and go back to the drawing board and figure out what we're going to do moving forward.
Can you update us on Tranquil and
Don't know yet. I know they haven't. They're going to do. I know their knees. Him and Asua. We'll find out more about exactly what they are when we get back to Kalamazoo.
But obviously losing both those guys even for one game is
Yeah, Tranquil is a guy. I mean, he sets everything. I mean, he's the guy in there. In our defense, our safeties are the ones that make everything right. So if the thing gets spilled, like on the fourth down play, he's the one that's standing there in the D gap, and he's really good at it. So not having him hurt us, we'll see what our trainers say. And then Asua is doing a good job. He was getting to the quarterback. He made him move around a little bit. So we'll wait to see what our trainers say and move forward from there.
Tim, you mentioned not being able to run the football.
No, there you go.
All right. You mentioned not being able to run the football this time. How much of that was Michigan State? Can you put a comparison on your first two opponents, how they stacked up, what you saw a week ago?
I think what they did very well is we had no push. That was the biggest thing. Coming into the game, I knew I could watch the O-line and D-line and tell if we had a really good chance of winning. And they did a great job of not letting us push them. Because what happens if we get pushed, which we're able to do against USC, if you get pushed and you allow your running back to catch it and take 2 or 3 steps before he makes his decision, you're dangerous, like we were last week. Today, when our double teams weren't moving their big interior too, which makes those running backs have to get it and make their decision right now. You hope they're right, but you literally get it and there's a guy standing right there. Whereas if you get any kind of push, once our guys get 3 steps on the ground, they're very dangerous. Same way with them. When LJ was running, there a couple times he got it and had to make a decision right now. We had him. But if he got going straight, and then the running lanes triple as soon as you get any push, So the push is really what got us. I talked to our running backs during the second half saying, hey, you're going to have to make a decision and go. You're not going to be able to read it, So, and we got to go back and watch it. But we knew they were big up front, but I thought we'd get more push than we did. And, our stretch play helped us a little bit. We were able to get to the edge. Bellamy had a really good game on the edges because they were so focused on not letting us run down straight ahead. That's why Bellamy had most of his big plays on the edges. And they were daring us to throw it. We got behind coverage 2 or 3 times. We had 2 sacks. We overthrew 1. We got hit the one time while we were throwing it. And that's really what we have to develop. We said that from day one, which is we have to play good defense, good special teams, run the ball while we're developing our passing game, and that's going to be the story of the year, is as we develop that passing game, we can be a really good team. But we have to, today was the day we needed it, or we didn't have a chance, we hung around, but that's not the goal,
Coach, we all saw Darius Phillips out there. Can you talk about his performance not only this week but last week as well?
Oh, I mean, every time he gets it, and he'll give all the credit to the guys in front. I mean, we do a great job, and Coach Kenny does an unbelievable job on the kick return team. I mean, he didn't get touched. Granted, now he hits it better than most I've seen, and he stripped the ball today. He had a pick today. I mean, he's just every time he has unbelievable ball skills, and he's a difference maker. He's the one. He's one of the guys that allows us to be the type of team that we need to be while we're developing offensively. So man, he's fun to watch. I wasn't sure if they're going to kick it to him or not, and they did and gave him a couple opportunities. He took advantage of one of them.
Coach, you opened with a couple quick short passes.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious effort to kind of maybe get John going early after USC game?
Yeah, we wanted to get them, and we knew they're in their defensive scheme. We could get that. We could get them a couple quick, easy ones just to get our receivers going too. Because a couple throws John threw and dropped. You know, so we really just need to get confidence in those guys as they develop, the receivers and the quarterbacks. So we're able to get some easy short ones. We just didn't get any big ones. You know, we got behind coverage a couple times. We just didn't capitalize on it. You know, and those are the things that we have to work on. And like I said, the conversation during that last drive was probably the best conversation I've been a part of since I've been here with John during a 2-minute drill of him verbalizing what he saw, what he wanted. He sounded like I want him to sound. As coach, I want this play. I know what they're doing. If they do this, I'm doing this. If they, you know, as opposed to just sitting there and letting us coach him, he was an active participant in what he was seeing, and it was the first time he'd ever really started talking. You know, and so that's a positive sign in his second start, and we need to continue to grow on that.
You talked about not getting the push. Did you know coming in that we're not probably going to be able to run the ball quite as well as you did last week?
No, I mean honestly, you never know. You really don't. We're going to come in every day, and we're going to find ways to run the ball. You know what I mean? And I knew they were good up front. So was USC. You know, and but we didn't get the push. And the thing is, when you add 8-9 to the box with those safeties, you're never going to get any kind of release unless you hit one over the top of them. You know what I mean? And they hit a couple. I mean, we run a similar defense to theirs, where you got to loosen them up. You know, but yeah, I didn't know. I wouldn't tell you that I knew that we weren't going to get pushed. You know, I expect for us to get pushed with everybody we play.
On that last play, on the 4th and a half yard and all that,
yeah.
Was that improvised?
No, that was improvised. That was inside zone. Our left side, which is Caliendo and Chooks, got pushed back right into, Jamari's face. Jamari had a choice, either to take a front side or go behind the whole thing. He chose front side, and there was nowhere to go. We had a bubble built into that play. Jamari saw him out there, gave him the ball, and it was close. You know, he was just trying to keep it alive. That whole last drive was an all or nothing. You know, hopefully you'll score, onside kick, score.
Coach, regarding the safeties, it looked like you had Enright and Claiborne both kind of rotating before the injury, and then it looked like one of them moved over maybe to strong safety in a tranquil spot. Is that something that's going to be an option going forward to have one of those guys maybe?
Yeah, all four of those guys are and BT, Brad Tanner being the other one. Those guys can play both of them. You know what I mean? And Claiborne's a guy who we think is very athletic. He's young. He's got to learn. And he's a guy that can't. Right now, we don't want him to get too many reps. You know, and because he's still learning. When he knows what he's doing, man, he can be a really good player. And once Tranquil went down, he became a full-time player. You know, because that's where you're at. You know, so I thought he played pretty good. I mean, that spilled power on 4th and 1, he was nowhere to be found. You know, but hopefully we'll see what happens with Tranquil. But we're trying to develop those guys. I mean, we have 4 safeties and they're all sophomores, and they're all pretty talented. You know. Tranquil has the most experience, and the other 3 we're just trying to develop as they go.
Coach had that big 4th and 1 play for Michigan State. This guy had the long run. Can you talk about the thought process leading up to that play there?
Oh, hindsight. We had a lot of time to talk about it as a staff. They had converted the last 2 3rd and longs. It was going to be 3rd and 16 or 4th and 1 on the 39. Down 2, you know, and we had a long talk of. Obviously, since they got it, I wish I would have taken it. I thought he'd kick it. To be honest with you, just because it was a 2-score game, and he wouldn't want to give it to us with that field position. You know what I mean? So that was really, me and Coach Dowse went back and forth because they kept checking the spot, and we as a staff we really felt like he'd kick it. So we wanted to get the ball in Darius's hands ASAP and not give them one more chance to let their quarterback run around because they had converted the last 2. So, but hindsight, that's the way it works. But the good thing is, because of the measurement, we had tons of time as a staff to have a chance to talk through all the different scenarios, and we were wrong. And actually, if we have a safety down there, we spilled it right to where we wanted to. We didn't show up. The young safety didn't show up on time, and the guy made a big run, and that obviously hurt. I took that on me, is the way it works.
Got time for one or two last questions, Coach?
Coach, the agreement to have Mike Sanders' number on your helmets, can you talk about what you made that decision?
Well, we, Zach Terrell won the Mike Sadler Award. Gosh, I think that was January or December? No, it had to be January. February, thank you. That's how much I know. February, so I got to go accept it. And so I started doing research on, I talked to Zach on the phone. Zach was training for the combine, and Zach knew him. And we just learned more and more about him and what he stood for, and he stood for everything that I want our kids to stand for. And so Zach and I talked about what could we do, and so we thought honoring him with putting his number on our helmet would be. So it was decided last February. We kind of announced it at the banquet we were at when I accepted the award for Zach, and she came last night to the hotel just to thank the guys for honoring her son, who's a great student, great athlete, great person in the community, which is what we're striving for.
Coach, these first two games against high-profile schools, obviously everybody knew they were going to be tough, but you've come out, put up good performances and kept the games close. What have they done for the confidence of the team?
It's hard to tell. I think we had today. I think our defense should gain some confidence because I thought they kept us in it. They scored once, and I think offensively they're gonna go back and look at themselves in the mirror and have to dig deep, and find ways to get the ball into the end zone. In the first game, I thought offense was able to move the ball pretty good, and defense, other than had a good couple of quarters, but the fourth quarter they really fell apart, and they really had a chip on their shoulder all week after that fourth quarter of USC. So the guys love playing these games. I mean, these are the games that they want to play in. They want to play in environments like this, and. But I definitely think that they have confidence in what we can do. They see what we are on special teams. They see what we can be on defense. They know what's coming in our passing game on offense. We've seen John do it. We're just not in a situation where we want to throw John to the wolves. I've seen too many people ruin quarterbacks right away as opposed to letting them develop. We have a running game that can allow him to develop, and we want to develop him the right way so we can have a great player for a long time. Not a guy dropping back and getting hit a lot, and losing confidence, So I think there's a lot of good to take from it, but there's also been a lot of rough things that we need to go through to grow as a team. We got here and everything's been going great, and we need to have some shared adversity, and it's a good thing. Halftime I was happy. I was like, guys, this is it. This is what we need to do to ever win a MAC championship again. And I thought we came out pretty good in the third quarter. I thought we came out, got a stop, scored, and I thought we came out fighting. I think there's a lot of fight on this team, and we just got to continue to grow. And it's a long season, and we'll lick our wounds and get ready for the next one. Excited to go home.
Coach, final question, and to touch on that, obviously the two games on the road to open the season against obviously some big name opponents, USC and here at Michigan State. Get to go back to Kalamazoo, 3 games in a row, defending your home turf at Waldo Stadium. What did you say to the guys about that in the locker room, and just overall thoughts going back to Kalamazoo?
I mean, we're just excited to get in front of our crowd, you know what I mean, and back home. So it'll be exciting to get the student section out there and to get the band. I mean, the band was there today, but and that was fun to see them out there. But our guys are excited. They're excited for every opportunity we have. But when we get to play at home, when you haven't for, a long time now, we've been there we reported at the beginning of August. So we've been together about a month and a half yet and have yet to play in our home stadium. So I know that they're excited about that, and they're excited to put a better, more consistent product because they've done some good things, but it's not to the level we want it to be yet.
All right. Thank you.
I'm good. Great.